Hey, yeah. Hey, this is Ashley. How are you doing today, Ashley? Ashley Murickan with Volvo Truck. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
We're
Thank you for
doing
having
great
me.
this morning. Hey, so do us a favor. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do over there at Volvo?
Yeah, I'm Ashley Murickan. I'm the product marketing manager for safety and connected services at Volvo Trucks. So I mainly serve as a subject matter expert for safety and connected services at Volvo Trucks. So yeah, I'm here to answer any of your questions.
Yeah, so today we actually brought you in. We heard we want to talk a little bit about Volvo Action Service. So we want to
Right.
hear a little bit about Volvo Action Service, what it is, what it means. So kind of just explain to us what Volvo Action Service is and what its premise is.
Yeah, so Volvo Action Service is a group of people that sit in Greensboro in this big building called the Uptime Center. There's around 50 people. Their main job is to monitor all our customers' trucks 24/7. When I say monitor, they're mainly looking at remote diagnostics. So they're monitoring your engine, after treatment, and transmission for any fault codes. And what they do is they'll figure out if something's going to fail. They do predictive fault code monitoring, and then they would contact the customer and let them know, hey, this is a critical fault code. You better look at it right now. And this is the nearest service location. We're going to schedule everything for you from the service to the repair and all that. Or they might say that, this fault code is not critical. You can actually look at it after you drop off your load, stuff like that. So.
Hey, actually, so you're telling me that they're monitoring it. So the truck is
Yeah.
actually always communicating with the Uptime
Yeah.
Center. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, for sure. Yeah. So it's like an extra set of eyes on your entire truck. Yeah.
So,
Sitting
so
with
how is
you.
it? So how is it communicating always? Is it going over the cell lines? Is it how is it doing
Yes.
that? Is it like a digital, like the phone service? So it
Yes.
always sends these data points over to the action service.
Correct. Yes. It's got a telematics gateway, and then using that, it's communicating using cellular network to the uptime center. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. So now if I have a set of Volvo trucks out there, I can have you be watch not only the driver but Volvo's actually looking at it on the front end, right? Making sure that
Yeah.
everything is there looking at it. What are some of the new things going on at Action Service? We kind of heard there's some new exciting stuff
Yeah.
going on over there.
Right, yeah. So there's remote diagnostics, which I spoke about. Then there's remote programming, where you can actually update software and parameters on your truck over the air. You don't have to bring it into the dealership. That would take maybe 2.5 days to do, but here you can do it in 10 minutes. So if you want to update your engine or transmission with the latest software, that means it's running most efficiently, then you can do that over the air. And all you got to do is follow the prompts in your driver information display, and you're good to go, right? It's that simple. That's with remote programming. And then recently we introduced a new service tracker tool. So we're trying to digitize the breakdown experience. So let's say, for example, you end up with an unplanned stop. You need a tow truck. So you call Volvo Action Service. So what they do is within 2 minutes, they'll send you a text on your phone saying that, okay, your towing truck has been dispatched, and click this link to track your towing truck. And then you get all the information about the tow truck name, and then you get the Uber and Lyft like experience. You can actually track the tow truck, and you have basically transparency, and it's more safe because you know where your tow truck is. You don't have to keep calling Volvo Action Service again and saying, hey, where's my truck at? Where's my tow truck at? So
So is that an app or you just click the text message? Is that
you
a
just click the
physical app?
text message, and then it takes you to
Oh,
the
okay, I
web
got
server.
you. No, that's
Yeah.
pretty interesting. And do you have an app that goes along with the Volvo Action Service for the
Yes.
people out there? Tell us a little bit about it.
Yes. So it's called Assist. So with that app you get, it's basically the fleet manager or the driver, mainly the fleet manager. They have access to all the service repairs, the status of the truck. You can approve repairs on it. You can issue purchase orders on it. So it's basically a web service, which is the one-stop shop for all your service information. That can be used to communicate with the dealership, with Volvo Action Service, and all of that. So
Okay,
it's a
so
great tool.
here's the big question. How
Yeah.
are the drivers reacting to this service out there on the road? I mean, I want to know what kind of feedback you're getting.
So yeah, we just introduced the service tracker tool as of April 1st. I mean this month. Yeah. So we've done pilots and they really like it, because before it was taking like 1.5 hours, half an hour to get a response, and then 1 hour. Suddenly the tow truck is on the way, but then you have no certainty. It could take 1.5 hours. It could take 2 hours because of traffic delays or anything. But now they have visibility. They know that, okay, my tow truck is going to show up in half an hour. So they're really happy because uncertainty is the worst. So you have more transparency, more comfortable, right? Um, and with respect to remote programming, we just made a new update where you can actually make the updates at your own convenience just by following the prompts on your driver information display, just like how you would do updates on your phone. You have your iPhone, they say that you have a software update, do it tonight, you do it at your own. It's the same thing. So it's really convenient now, and people are really liking it. So great feedback.
When you talk about this, and I'll tell you, it feeds a lot into productivity. I mean, to
Yes.
us here in the world out there, what you're doing is you're allowing to get some of these PM options done quickly and efficiently,
Right.
and you're also not pulling it into a shop, not scheduling
Right.
appointments, not having a lot of downtime. It's actually a lot better for drivers and companies alike to be able to have these services done in a remote deal. I'll tell you, what's really exciting is that as this develops, I have experienced more personally more and more digital type issues than mechanical type issues. Like sensor issues, and there's
Right.
more and more of those, and you're finding them on the front end instead of us calling you going, "Hey, I'm broke down," right?
Exactly. We're using machine learning algorithms to figure out if it's going to be a fault before it even happens. Exactly. Yeah. We can predict it.
Hey, Ashley, I'm going to hop in here. My name's Sir Rick. I know Drive Safe Dave. He takes over the show, and he'll just keep asking questions, and he won't even let you answer either. That's the beauty of Drive Safe Dave. He kind of answers the question for you, what he said. That's what I said. So here we go. Uptime Center, just love the name in general because it's designed to keep the trucks up. I want you to explain it to a driver that's out there for a company that's new to what they're hearing right now. And basically what you're saying is that you're managing the system to identify and tell that driver, tell that customer, tell that carrier, I guess, that, hey, you know what? I know something's wrong with your truck, whether you know it or not. And you're trying to route them to if it needs to be fixed right now or next week. You're going to say, hey, push it off a little bit because we know it's not a critical sensor. What else do you do besides that on that uptime side?
Yeah, so that's perfect. Exactly. So on top of that, let's say once we let you know if it's critical or non-critical. If it's a red code, it's really critical. If it's a yellow code, then you can look at it after the fact. But let's say it's critical. Then what we do is we immediately don't just leave you there. It's real people that providing real solutions. So it's Volvo Action Service. So what we'll do is we'll tell you that, okay, this is the nearest dealership. We're gonna let you know that you can go there immediately if it's really critical. And then by the time you're at the dealership, the diagnostics information would have already been sent to the dealership, right? And the dealership already knows, okay, what kind of issue is this? And the dealership also is segmented in such a way that it's got an uptime bay and a normal bay. An uptime bay is for those things that need repairs less than 4 hours. And a normal bay is something that needs more than 4 hours. So you don't have to wait in line behind somebody who needs a longer job, right? So you can easily route yourself and go and get back on the road. So all this data is sent from the uptime center to the dealer, and the dealer knows exactly what to do. So again, just preparing everything. And then but also the parts that are required to make your repair will be ready at the dealership as well because of all this data, right?
Hey, question on that, and again, I usually find a little kink in the software. So here we go, and usually when I find that kink, it gets said that that's on the next update. That's usually what we hear. So here it goes. So when you have somebody, a truck, if Drive Safe Dave is driving that truck and he's going to Dallas, Texas, and that he's going to be at that uptime center in 4 hours, does that uptime center also know, based on the diagnostics that you have where his truck is, Do they know that he's going to be there in 4 hours? Are they GPS and say he's getting a little bit closer? He'll be here in 30 minutes. Hey, folks, let's get the parts ready to go. Drive safe, Dave's almost here.
Oh yeah, you can do all of that. Of course, yeah. They're with you along the way throughout. They know where your truck is. They can communicate with the customer, with the dealer, and the driver. Yep.
You know, I've had unfortunately, I've had some experience with the Uptime Center. I will tell you that what's very encouraging is that y'all follow that through. Volvo Uptime follows that problem all the way from the front all the way to the end. They follow through all the way when it comes to that uptime participation. They make sure not only are you scheduled in to get it done, but they contact the bay, they contact the dealership, they contact the service center, and then they contact you after it's done. I mean, it's kind of a full deal, right, going on over there.
Exactly. You're not talking to just some AI robot or anything. You're talking to real people, guiding you throughout the way.
They're real people.
We love real people. Hey, question. Hey, what's up and coming? Something that only that BCB Live followers can hear now. What's the next big thing you're working on with Action Service?
Yeah, so the next,
Super secret. We won't say anything.
With connected services in general, right? With remote programming, you'll see it being more automated in the future. You don't even need to even speak to Volvo Action Service in the future. I mean, let's say if you're crossing state lines and the speed limit changes from, 70 miles per hour to 65, you can automatically change your vehicle max speed it'll automatically change from 70 to 65, stuff like that, Or we'll be introducing fuel reports and safety reports where you can get the data in a nice dashboard where you can see, how safe is this driver compared to another driver's driving behavior. You can see fuel economy data. So there's a lot of basically data going to be converted into actionable insights in dashboards where you can monitor and use that to coach your drivers to do better. So
how does the software that you're talking about right now, Volvo Action, talk to me and to our listeners here on how you guys perceive that working to make it safer for them? What do you believe the software is doing to keep them safer on the road?
Yeah, so mainly what the software can do is provide enough data to identify trends, right? It's all about using data to convert into actionable insights. So what you do with that data is the main thing. So for example, if you monitor a driver doing a lot of hard braking events, you can probably monitor a trend in that, certain hard braking events. And then you can take that information and have a fact-based conversation with the driver and say, look, I'm noticing that there's a lot of hard braking events in your driving behavior. Maybe you should tweak it a bit to make it better. Or you can notice lane departure events, right? The camera is monitoring the lines and you notice that this certain driver is having more lane departure events than another driver. Then you can be like, look, I'm noticing this. If you change your driving behavior, then you can predict that, you can also do it the other way around. You can see that if this driver has a lot of lane departure warning events and hard braking events, it's more likely that they're going to experience an unsafe event versus another driver. So it's basically how you analyze the data and use it to prevent an accident in the future, right? So.
Gotcha. I'm going to tell you too, from what we hear, and talking to the drivers on here, what I also believe is another big benefit to drivers is letting them know that the problem has been addressed and that they have a place to go to. There's a lot of value in the knowledge and sharing that information with the driver because it gives them the peace of mind to once again stay focused on the road, knowing that you've already have that spot for them at that shop in Dallas or wherever they're going.
Right. No, absolutely. Yeah. It's always giving them the confidence that they're doing good and, make a little bit more tweaks and you'll do even better, but fact-based.
Actually, when you talk about that and what I think, I'm just going to add on to what Rick's talking about. When they have more confidence in you and the Action Service, they have more confidence in what's going on around them, which alleviates a lot of stress. And when they're better able to not be distracted by that stress, whether it be worried about are they going to be able to get me when I get there? How long am I going to be down? Or do they even know the situational problem of what's going on? And when you tell a driver, hey, it's a fuel pressure sensor, going on, and we know what it needs. I mean, when that happens, when a driver's told that and go, hey, I got you when you come in, we're going to change that fuel filter because there's a little bit of back pressure on there. The driver's like, yeah, man, it's nice to know that they kind of understand what's happening, and I don't have to walk in and explain what that hissy feely noise is, and and try to go, hey, I'm getting that little going on in the truck, and everybody's looking at you trying to explain. You already know the problem, and I'll tell you, it adds to the safety of the driver because he's not distracted by the issue. Because I'll tell you, I've walked into a shop and said, well, it's got this noisy thing when you turn it to the left. And
what's that noise sound like, Drive Safe?
Yeah, there's that noise. Then they want you to describe the noise, and then you got guys in there making noises with, they're doing some kind of thing. But now we're talking about already diagnose the issue when you walk in. I'll tell you, that's a big comfort and a big, like you said, confidence to the driver to know what's going on out there on the road.
No, I mean, you can't say it better than that. Yeah, it's all about physical and mental fatigue, right? So at Volvo, we try everything to reduce the mental fatigue, because if you have mental fatigue, it leads to wrong decision making, stress, and wrong decision making would lead to a bad event. So yeah, we want to eliminate mental fatigue, whether that's by giving you certainty on what's going to happen, whether it's reducing noise inside the cab, reducing vibrations in the cab, whether it's better steering for you to have lots of peace of mind. Everything we do is to reduce mental and physical fatigue. Yeah, definitely.
All right, Ashley, big time. There's a rumor going around about Volvo Action, and I just need you to say, is it what Volvo Action has or doesn't have? And this rumor may just have came up all of a sudden too. So here it is. If in fact they're a trucking company just has a driver they have to bring in, is there some secret office back there that Volvo Action can throw it over and all of a sudden take over the driving for that truck and get it off the road or get it to that get it back to that truck terminal?
Maybe in the future.
but not yet, right?
It's got
we can't call Volvo Action and say, hey, take it over. We need you to bring this guy back home.
Volvo Action Service, the abbreviation is a VAS. The same thing, we're going to have Volvo Autonomous Solutions, so it could happen.
There you go. I'm on to something right here.
Got some acronyms cross-referencing there.
That's exciting. That's exciting stuff. And I want you to know from a technology aspect what you do back behind the scenes at Volvo Action Service. And I think it's also important, Dave, that you pass this on to the people up in Greensboro as well. Is what you're doing up there is critical, not only to a trucking company, but to the safety mindset that's going on. To be able to predict that a truck may be unsafe is critical to get that truck off the road and get it fixed. To know that something doesn't need to be fixed and it can wait 3,000 or 4,000 more miles or 1,000, whatever that is. That's also critical to the mindset of that truck driver out there, because they don't have to worry. There's enough distractions out there right now that, boy, let me tell you, anything you can do to help them, it really does make them a safer driver on the road.
Absolutely.
So critical in that.
Yeah, and it's exciting. So who is Volvo Action Service only available to Volvos at this time, or who is this service available to?
Yeah, only Volvos at this time. Yeah, Volvo Action Service. It's a Volvo unique feature. It's a brand. It comes with the brand. If you buy a Volvo truck, you get that right off the bat for 2 years, standard with the purchase of your truck. So
nice.
Can't go out there and buy a Peterbilt and have Volvo monitor all that, right? Kind of makes sense. Volvo Action Service.
I get it.
I think I like it. Hey, I want to thank you for being on BCB Live. Want to again just to remind you and just to encourage you to keep doing what you're doing to make our roads, to make these trucks a little bit safer, not only for the four-wheelers out there, but to get our drivers back home safe. There's so many challenges they deal with and what you do continues to be a major impact and creates major, improvement upon their habits as drivers. Hey, Ashley, before you get out of here, I need you to say your name, that I'm with Volvo Action Services, and you're watching BCB Live, the safest station in the nation.
Hey, this is Ashley Murickan representing Volvo Action Services from Volvo Trucks, and you're watching BCB Live, the safest station in the nation.